Imagine for a moment that you're walking through your own personal Middle Earth, carrying the weight of a betrayal that has shattered your heart. Someone you placed your complete trust in, your love, your vulnerability, has broken that sacred bond. Perhaps it was a life partner, a decades-long friend, a beloved family member, or someone you considered your soulmate. And now you're here, feeling as if the ground has vanished beneath your feet, questioning everything you believed about love, trust, and human relationships. You feel like Frodo, the moment he realizes Boromir tried to take the ring, betrayed by someone who was supposed to protect you. But there is a light at the end of this dark tunnel, and it shines through the ancient wisdom found in the figure of Gandalf, the gray who became white, the one who knows the deepest secrets of overcoming, transformation, and the true nature of inner strength. Welcome, fellow travelers, to a deep exploration of how Stoic wisdom, filtered through Gandalf's timeless teachings, can guide us through the darkest valley the human soul can traverse, the betrayal of those we love most. Today, you're not just watching a video, you're embarking on a journey of healing and transformation that can completely change how you view your current pain and your future potential. Over the next few minutes, we'll discover together how to transform betrayal from an experience that destroys us into one that strengthens us, how to find wisdom where there was only bitterness before, and how to use that pain as fuel to become a wiser, more resilient, and more compassionate version of ourselves. These 25 teachings aren't just comforting words. They are practical tools, tested by time and human experience, that you can apply immediately to your life to begin your true healing journey. First teaching: all we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us. Gandalf knew that life doesn't give us choices about the circumstances we face, but it always gives us a choice about how we respond to them. When you've been betrayed, the first natural impulse is to ask, why me, or how could they do this? But these questions, while valid in the grieving process, don't lead to healing. What leads to healing is recognizing that at this very moment, you have a fundamental choice. You can choose to become bitter and closed off to love, or you can choose to use this experience as an opportunity for profound growth. The time you have now, this moment of pain, but also clarity, is precious. Don't waste it on endless resentment. Use it to build a stronger, wiser version of yourself. This doesn't mean you should forgive immediately or pretend you're not hurt. It means you acknowledge that you have the power to choose what the next chapter of your story will be. Second teaching: a wizard is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. This isn't just a statement about punctuality. It's a profound philosophy about divine timing and acceptance. Your betrayal happened when it was meant to happen, not because you deserved it, but because it was part of your growth path. Perhaps you need to learn about your own inner strength, about setting healthier boundaries, about recognizing signs you ignored, or about loving more consciously in the future. The universe has a mysterious way of putting us exactly where we need to be, to learn the lessons our soul needs. Accepting this doesn't mean being passive or resigned. It means understanding that you are exactly where you need to be at this moment to become who you are destined to become. Every painful experience carries within it the seeds of our next evolution. Third teaching: even the smallest person can change the course of the future. You may feel small and powerless in the face of the magnitude of the betrayal you've suffered, but remember, you have more power than you realize. Frodo was just a hobbit, but he changed the fate of all Middle-earth. You, even in your moment of greatest vulnerability, have the power to completely change the trajectory of your life. Every small decision you make now, choosing to get out of bed, choosing to take care of yourself, choosing not to retaliate with cruelty, choosing to seek help when you need it, is shaping your future. The person who betrayed you may have impacted your past, but you have complete control over how it will affect your tomorrow. Don't underestimate the transformative power that resides within you at this very moment. Sometimes, it's in our moments of greatest fragility that we discover our true strength. Fourth teaching. Death is but another path that we all must tread. Gandalf understood that some things need to die so that others can be born. The person you were before the betrayal, that more naive, perhaps blindly trusting version, needs to die so that a wiser, more discerning version can emerge. This is one of the most difficult aspects of healing, recognizing that you can't go back to being exactly who you were before. And that's not necessarily a loss, it's a transformation. The symbolic death of your old way of loving and trusting makes space for a more mature and conscious way of relating. You are going through a kind of death and rebirth. It's frightening, it's painful, but it's also sacred. Allow yourself to grieve for who you used to be, but also embrace the excitement of discovering who you are becoming. Fifth lesson. I was Gandalf the Grey, now I am Gandalf the White. Betrayal can be the catalyst for your own transformation from gray to white. Gandalf didn't become more powerful despite undergoing a traumatic experience, his battle with the Balrog, but because of it. Your current pain isn't just an obstacle to overcome, it's the very process through which you are being refined and strengthened. Every tear you've shed, every sleepless night you've endured, every moment of questioning you've experienced is contributing to a profound transformation within you. You aren't just recovering from betrayal, you're evolving through it. The person who emerges on the other side of this experience will be wiser, more compassionate, more discerning, and paradoxically, capable of deeper and more authentic love than before. Sixth lesson. Despair is merely a temporary illusion. When Gandalf encouraged his companions in their darkest hours, he always reminded them that the current darkness wasn't permanent. Your present despair, however overwhelming it may feel, is temporary. This doesn't diminish your pain, it's real and valid. But it's crucial to remember that feelings, however intense, are transient by nature. What you're feeling now isn't what you'll feel forever. There will be mornings when you wake up and for a few moments, completely forget about the betrayal. There will be days when you genuinely laugh at something funny. There will be moments when you feel grateful to be alive. These moments may seem impossible now, but they will come. Your only responsibility is to stay alive and open enough to receive them when they arrive. Seventh lesson. Courage is not the absence of fear, but action in the face of fear. You may be feeling cowardly for not getting over the betrayal quickly, but in reality, being here, continuing to live, seeking healing, that's pure courage. Courage isn't not being afraid to love again. It's being terrified of the possibility of being hurt again, and still remaining open to love when it appears. Courage isn't not feeling anger, it's feeling justified anger, and still choosing not to let it define your future actions. Courage isn't pretending everything is okay, it's admitting you're broken, and still believing you can rebuild yourself. Every day you choose to get up and face the world, despite the pain you carry, you're demonstrating a courage that few truly understand. Eighth lesson. Not all those who wander are lost. You may feel completely lost right now, directionless, purposeless, unsure of how to rebuild your life, but wandering is part of the process of healing and self-discovery. Just as Aragorn needed to wander the wild lands to become the king he was destined to be, you need this time of uncertainty to discover who you truly are. When all your old certainties have been shattered, this period of wandering isn't wasted time, it's preparation time. You're gathering experiences, insights, inner strength, and wisdom that will be essential for the next phase of your life. Don't rush to find yourself again. Allow yourself to wander consciously, exploring parts of yourself you may never have known before. Ninth lesson. It is the little things we do that reveal who we truly are. Your recovery won't happen through grand dramatic gestures or sudden revelations. It will happen through small daily choices, choosing to shower when you don't feel like it, choosing to eat something nutritious, even when you have no appetite, choosing to respond kindly when someone asks how you are, choosing not to stalk the person who betrayed you on social media, choosing to go to bed at a decent hour, choosing to leave the house even when you'd rather hide. These small daily victories are the true building blocks of your healing. They may seem insignificant, but it is these that, accumulated over time, create a real and lasting transformation. Celebrate these small conscious choices. They are evidence that you are fighting for your own healing. 10th lesson. Betrayal always comes from within the circle of trust. Gandalf knew that the most devastating dangers didn't come from obvious enemies, but from those we trusted. Boromir wasn't an orc. He was a member of the Fellowship. Saruman wasn't an original servant of evil. He was a colleague and friend of Gandalf. Betrayal always hurts more when it comes from those we love, because it shatters our faith in human nature and in our own judgment. Recognizing this can help you understand that what happened to you wasn't a cruel twist of fate. It was one of the most universal and ancient human experiences there. This doesn't make the pain any less, but it can help you feel less isolated and less special in your suffering. You weren't betrayed because you're particularly naive or stupid. You were betrayed because you trusted as a normal, healthy human being trusts. 11th lesson. The power of choice always remains with us. Even when you feel completely powerless, you still possess the most fundamental power of all, the power to choose your response. The person who betrayed you made the choices that led to the betrayal, but they cannot take from you the power to choose how you will react. You can choose to become cynical or remain hopeful. You can choose to close yourself off to new relationships or remain open to future possibilities. You can choose to carry resentment forever or work towards forgiveness when you're ready. You can choose to be defined by this betrayal or use it as a chapter of growth in a much larger story. This power of choice is inalienable. No one can take it from you, no matter what they've done. And it's through the conscious exercise of this power that you reclaim your autonomy and your strength. 12th lesson. Tears are not a sign of weakness, but of depth. Alatar wept when he saw the destruction of Isengard, when he learned of the deaths of friends, when he confronted the magnitude of suffering in the world. His tears did not make him less wise or less powerful. They revealed the depth of his compassion and his humanity. Your tears over this betrayal are not a sign that you are weak or pathetic. They are evidence that you truly loved, completely trusted, and genuinely invested in a relationship. They show that you are capable of deep feelings and authentic connections. In a world where many people protect themselves through emotional superficiality, your ability to cry reveals your courage to love fully. Don't be ashamed of your tears. They are sacred. They are the process through which your heart cleanses itself and prepares to love again. 13th lesson. Patience is a form of wisdom. Alatar was never in a hurry, even when the world seemed to be collapsing around him. He understood that some things cannot be forced or rushed. Your healing cannot be rushed either. There is no right timeline for overcoming a betrayal. No matter what other people say about moving on or not dwelling on the past, you need the time you need, and that time is sacred. Be patient with yourself. Some days you will feel like you are making rapid progress. Other days you will feel like you've gone back to square one. This is normal and doesn't mean you are failing. Healing isn't linear. It happens in spirals, where we sometimes revisit old pains with a new and more mature perspective. Be patient with your process. You are exactly where you need to be in your own healing rhythm. 14th lesson. True strength comes from what we carry, not what we leave behind. You may be tempted to completely forget the person who betrayed you, to erase all memories, to act like nothing happened. But Alatar teaches us that our strength comes from what we integrate and carry with us, not what we deny or reject. This betrayal, however painful, carries valuable lessons that can serve you for the rest of your. Perhaps it will teach you about the importance of trusting your instincts. Perhaps it will show you patterns in your relationships that need to be changed. Perhaps it will force you to develop a healthier form of self-love. Instead of trying to completely forget this experience, consider how you can transform it into wisdom that you will carry with you. Don't let the pain be wasted. Use it as fuel to become a more conscious and discerning person in your future relationships. 15th lesson. Forgiveness is a gift we give ourselves. Alatar forgave even those who betrayed him, not because they deserved it, but because carrying resentment was a burden he chose not to carry. Forgiveness doesn't mean you have to trust the person who betrayed you again. It doesn't mean you have to go back to them or pretend nothing happened. Forgiveness means releasing the toxic emotional energy you're carrying, so it doesn't continue poisoning your life. When you forgive, you're not doing the person who hurt you, or you're doing yourself a favor. You are choosing not to let someone else's betrayal continue controlling your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. Forgiveness is a process, not a single event. You may need to forgive the same person 1,000 times until you finally free yourself completely from resentment, and that's perfectly normal. 16th lesson. In the deepest darkness, the smallest light seems brightest. Alatar knew that it is precisely in the moments of greatest darkness that our ability to perceive and appreciate light intensifies. In this moment of betrayal and pain, you may be more sensitive and grateful for small gestures of kindness than ever before. A hug from a friend might touch you more deeply. A kind word from a stranger might bring you to tears of gratitude. A sunset might seem more beautiful than you remember. This heightened sensitivity is not weakness. It's one of the unexpected gifts that emerge from our deepest pain. You are learning to recognize and value light in a way that may never have been possible when your life was comfortably illuminated. This amplified ability to perceive and appreciate beauty and goodness will remain with you long after the pain of betrayal fades. 17th lesson. Hope is kindled in the darkest hours. When all seemed lost in Middle-earth, it was precisely in those moments that hope manifested itself most powerfully. Your current situation, however hopeless it may seem, is the fertile ground where new hope can grow. This won't be the same naive hope you may have had before. It will be a more mature hope, more aware of the risks, but also more resilient. It will be a hope that doesn't depend on external guarantees, but that springs from your own proven ability to survive the impossible. You have already survived days you thought you couldn't. You have already been through nights you believed would be endless. If you've made it this far, you have within you a source of hope that no betrayal can permanently destroy. This hope may be sleeping now, but it's there, waiting for the right moment to resurface. 18th lesson. Wisdom comes from those who listen more than they speak. In your current state of pain and confusion, you may feel an urge to explain, justify, confront, or convince. But Alatar teaches us that there's a time to speak and a time to listen, and that true wisdom often comes from attentive silence. This is a time to listen. Listen to your own feelings without judging them. Listen to the wise counsel of people who genuinely love you. Listen to the lessons this experience is trying to teach you. Listen to the voice of your intuition that may have tried to warn you about signs you ignored. Don't feel pressured to have all the answers now, or to be able to articulate perfectly what you're feeling. Sometimes the greatest wisdom lies in acknowledging that you don't know, that you're confused, that you need time to process. This conscious state of not knowing is the cradle where new understandings are born. 19th lesson. True strength lies in protecting the vulnerable, not dominating the strong. One temptation after betrayal is to become hardened, closed off, strong in the sense of invulnerable. But Alatar shows us that true strength lies in our ability to remain gentle and protective, especially with the vulnerable parts of ourselves and others. Don't let this betrayal make you cruel. Don't use your pain as an excuse to hurt other innocent people. Instead, use your experience to become more compassionate towards others who are suffering. Protect your own vulnerability as something sacred, not something to be eliminated. The capacity to be hurt is inseparable from the capacity to love deeply. If you completely shut yourself off to protect yourself from pain, you also shut yourself off from the possibility of genuine joy and connection. True strength lies in finding a balance between openness and discernment, between trust and caution. 20th lesson. The greatest victories are won within us. Alatar knew that external battles are merely reflections of the internal battles we wage. Your greatest victory won't be winning over the person who betrayed you, proving you're fine without them, or finding someone better to make them jealous. Your greatest victory will be achieving inner peace, regardless of external circumstances. It will be reaching a point where you can think about the person who betrayed you without your stomach churning with anger or pain. It will be discovering that you can be happy and fulfilled even on your own. It will be developing a form of self-love that doesn't depend on the validation of other people. It will be learning to trust your own intuition and inner worth. These internal victories are the only ones that truly matter, because they are the only ones over which you have complete control, and that no one can take away from you. 21st lesson. The journey is more important than the destination. You may be obsessed with reaching the point where you're healed from the betrayal, where it doesn't hurt anymore, where you can fully trust again. But Alatar teaches us that it's the path, not the destination, that transforms us. Each day of healing is valuable in itself. Each small insight you gain about yourself, or about human relationships, has value regardless of where you arrive in the end. Every moment of compassion you manage to feel for yourself is a victory. Every time you choose kindness over bitterness is growth. Don't waste this healing time anxiously awaiting the day it will be over. Consciously live each day of the process, finding meaning and value in the journey of rebuilding itself. This journey is teaching you things about yourself and about life that you would never learn otherwise. 22nd lesson. Evil cannot create, only corrupt and destroy. The person who betrayed you didn't create your capacity to love, they only tried to corrupt or destroy it. But your capacity to love, trust, and connect authentically is a fundamental creative force within you that cannot be truly destroyed by anyone. It may be wounded, dormant, cautious, but it still exists. What the betrayal did was reveal where your capacity to love was vulnerable or misdirected, so that you can protect it and direct it more wisely in the future. Don't let the destructiveness of another person convince you that you must become destructive too. Keep your capacity to create alive, create new healthier relationships, create a stronger version of yourself, create meaning from pain, create beauty from ashes. Your creative and loving nature is your greatest strength, not your greatest weakness. 23rd lesson. Sometimes it's necessary to lose yourself to find yourself. Before the betrayal, you may have had a clear picture of who you were, what you wanted, how the world worked. Now you may feel completely lost, questioning everything about yourself and about life. Alatar teaches us that this state of loss is sometimes necessary for a deeper and more authentic encounter with ourselves. Perhaps the person you were before was too defined by the expectations of others or by unexamined ideas about how you should be. Perhaps you need this experience of total disorientation to discover who you are. When all your masks and roles are removed, this can be an opportunity to know yourself in a deeper and more authentic way than ever before. Don't rush to find yourself again. Allow yourself to be lost for a while, exploring inner territories you may never have visited before. 24th lesson: compassion is the bravest response to suffering. It may seem impossible now, but a day will come when you'll be able to feel compassion even for the person who betrayed you, not because they deserve it, but because you will have evolved to a point where you understand that people who inflict great pain on others are usually in great pain themselves. This doesn't justify what they did to you, it doesn't make the act less harmful, and it doesn't mean you should tolerate destructive behavior. It means you will have grown to a point where you can see the flawed humanity in all of us, including in those who hurt you. This compassion isn't weakness, it's a sign of tremendous inner strength. It's evidence that you haven't allowed betrayal to turn you into someone bitter or cruel. It's proof that you've kept alive your ability to see potential goodness even in people who acted badly towards you. 25th lesson: the true ending isn't when the story ends, but when a new one begins. Alatar knew that every conclusion is also a beginning. The end of your previous relationship, the end of the person you used to be. These endings are also the beginnings of something new, the beginning of more conscious and authentic relationships, the beginning of a more mature way of trusting, the beginning of a wiser, more resilient version of you. This betrayal isn't the end of your love story. It's the end of a painful chapter that was preparing you for a more beautiful and fulfilling future chapter. You are not condemned to repeat the same patterns forever. You are not destined to suffer endlessly. This experience is equipping you with wisdom, discernment, and inner strength that will make your next relationships healthier and more satisfying. What seems now like a devastating end is, in fact, the disguised beginning of the best phase of your life. And so, dear fellow traveler, we come to the end of this exploration through Alatar's wisdom for betrayed hearts. But this end is, as the wise Alatar himself teaches us, just a new beginning. You started this video carrying the heavy burden of betrayal, perhaps feeling lost and hopeless. And though that pain may still be present, because true healing takes time, you now carry something new as well, a map drawn by ancient wisdom that has survived all betrayals, all losses, all despairs that humanity has ever faced. Each of these 25 lessons is a tool you can use daily, a light you can ignite in the darkest moments, a reminder that you are stronger and more resilient than any circumstance life may present. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. Millions of people around the world have gone through what you're going through, and many of them have emerged on the other side, transformed, wiser, more compassionate, and paradoxically, more capable of authentic love than before. Your current pain is not a verdict on you, it's the process through which you are being forged into a stronger version of yourself. Like iron that needs to go through fire to become steel, you are being refined by this experience. The road ahead won't always be easy. There will be difficult days, moments of relapse, instances where you'll question whether you can truly move on. But now you have these 25 anchors of wisdom to remind you of who you really are, not a permanent victim, but a survivor in the process of transformation, not someone condemned to suffer forever, but someone being prepared for a deeper and more authentic form of joy. If this content touched your heart, if these words resonated with your soul, please share this video with someone you know who is going through a similar situation. Sometimes, the most powerful thing we can do for someone in pain is to remind them that they are not alone and that there is a path through the darkness. Leave a comment below sharing which lesson resonated most with you, or tell us how you are applying any of this wisdom in your own healing journey. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, consider doing so now. We're here to continue walking alongside you, offering wisdom, hope, and practical tools to navigate the deepest challenges of human existence, because we believe that no pain is wasted when transformed into wisdom, no tear is in vain when it waters the soil where a new version of ourselves will blossom. You've come this far, you've survived until this moment, and that in itself is already evidence of an inner strength you may not even know you possess. Tomorrow, when you wake up, you'll have another day to practice these lessons, to choose wisdom over bitterness, to choose growth over stagnation in pain, and we'll be here as virtual companions on this journey, offering new perspectives, new tools, and new reminders that you are capable of so much more than you imagine. May Alatar's wisdom illuminate your next steps. May you find, in your own journey through this personal Middle Earth, not just healing, but a transformation so profound that one day you'll be able to look back and be grateful, not for the betrayal itself, but for the extraordinary person you became because of it. Until next time, dear traveler, you are not alone, and your best chapter is yet to come.